Hi, I'm Papia. In this problem, we have to evaluate a limit. And it is limit as x approaches 4 of this function, square root of x plus 5 minus 3 divided by x minus 4. So when you evaluate a limit, the very first thing we usually do is called direct substitution. So what we do is we plug in x equals 4 directly in the function and see if we have any y value, any output. If we do, that is the limit. So let's see what happens here. So if you do a direct sub, so plug in x equals 4, well, notice that this function has a denominator and is x minus 4. So you immediately notice that you will get a 0 in the denominator when you plug in x equals 4. And so we cannot evaluate the limit using a direct substitution because there is no value, right? So this is not the right method. So what we can do, we can first try to manipulate this expression algebraically and see if we can simplify it in any way. And in the process of simplifying, the main idea is, can we get rid of x minus 4, that factor? Can we somehow cancel it? If we can, then we'll be able to do a direct substitution later and find the value. Okay, so let's try to do an algebraic manipulation to this expression. So the first thing you should notice is there's a square root in this function. And because of that, we can try to rationalize. So what we can do is we can multiply and divide by the conjugate of this expression. So if this is a minus b, its conjugate is a plus b. So what you will do is you will multiply and divide by the conjugate. So by multiplying and dividing, this new term doesn't change the original function. That's why we're multiplying and dividing. So you can cancel and you will still get your original function. Okay, why did we do that? Because notice in the numerator, you have this form a minus b times a plus b. You can combine them as a difference of two squares. So you'll get a square, so square root of x plus 5 square, minus b square, b is 3. And the denominator remains as it is, x minus 4 times square root x plus 5 plus 3. Okay, let's see what we can do with the numerator. We can simplify that further. Okay, so the first term is a square root squared, so we don't have square root anymore. It'll be just x plus 5. And minus 3 squared is 9. Again, denominator remains as it is. All right, let's continue. In the numerator, we have x plus 5 minus 9. 5 minus 9 is negative 4. So we have x minus 4. There you go. See, we have the same factor in the numerator that we have in the denominator. And therefore, we can cancel. Now, please remember, this is a limit as x is approaching 4. And that means x is getting very close to the value 4, but it will never actually reach the value. So x will never be equal to 4. And that's why we can cancel the term x minus 4. Okay, so we'll be left with limit x approaching 4, 1 divided by this expression, square root of x plus 5 plus 3. And notice now we can directly substitute 4 for x in the denominator and it will not be 0. So we will have our answer by a direct substitution here. So the answer will be 1 divided by square root of x equals 4. So 4 plus 5 plus 3. And that's equal to 4 plus 5 is 9. Square root of 9 is 3. So it's 3 plus 3, which is 1/6. So this is the limit. Thank you.